Hello. Hello. Hello, everyone. Haters. Lovers. Is it working? Come on. I'm not showing anything working. Okay, I'm just an old man, and I need to make sure that everything's working, but it looks like it's going on. But I'm here to talk about something very important, and that is the hate that I received after releasing the video on Metal Gear Solid 3 Delta being remade. And this is an important topic because Metal Gear Solid just means so much to me. And to get the hate that I receive for just expressing how much I want Metal Gear to live up to what it's always been. And that's the most amazing series that's ever been. And just to receive that kind of feedback over so-called fans of Hideo Kojima, who thinks that he had the perfect answer to everything back in, 2004 or something, with the PlayStation 2, with Snake Eater back then, with fixed camera angles or whatever basically it had back then. No, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Today, we could actually make Snake Eater what we remembered it to be, instead of this just repainting of whatever. Hold on, yeah, okay, just making sure it's public. But yeah, all Metal Gear Solid 3 Delta or Delta Snake Eater, whatever that stupid name is. Even the name is stupid for this remake, okay? I feel like everything about it is stupid, and I'm the only one seeing it, and I feel like I'm just stuck in this crazy world of everyone thinking that the Metal Gear Solid 3 Delta remake, Snake Eater, Vulcan, everything is just this amazing, perfect idea. And I guess I'm just taking crazy pills, as the meme goes. I feel like I am just taking crazy pills as everyone just loses their mind over anything that's not this one-to-one remake, pretending that anything Hideo Kojima has touched is like a sacred artifact, which is just stupid. It's stupid, I hate to tell you. Because, again, why do you think he has the perfect formula for everything back in 2004? I just feel like there's just so many better games that have come out since then, and that the ability to make games have just increased so much since what he did in Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater in 2004. I know I'm just repeating myself at this point, but you have to understand that there are just big leaps in like what hardware can do. And I think that's the big thing here, is that there were just so many hardware limitations on the PlayStation 2 that just limited what Hideo Kojima and his team could do for Metal Gear Solid 3, okay? Like, you just can't do as much as you think you can do on the PlayStation 2. I mean, because I feel like just from, like, PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, whatever, Wii onwards, it was just, like, pushing the acceleration pedal on gaming, like, as a whole. I mean, just where we've went from 2004, between like 2004, 1994, 1998, up to like 2010, whatever, just that level is just insane of like what it came to. It was just insane that that's what it was. And what was it? I got distracted because somebody left. The one person who watched it left, and it just breaking my heart. But that's just the haters who don't want to believe the truth. You know what? I'm going to just minimize that so I don't need to see anything. I don't need to see myself. I don't need distractions, because that's everything it is. It's just distractions from the truth. And what is that truth? That truth is that Metal Gear Solid 3 is getting robbed of that reimagining. And when I released that video before, that's what the issue was. I didn't realize that there was... I was short-sighted, I was blinded by what people called the Resident Evil remakes, which were truly reimagining of those games, because they weren't really one-to-one remakes. Like, obviously not. I mean, there's cut stuff, new stuff, but on a whole, whether better or worse, it is something new. And I think it's great that we can revisit those older games and still enjoy it for what it is. And then we still have these new games that bring a whole new experience, even if it feels a little bit different, and that's the important thing, is keeping it in the same genre, that same feeling, that same story. Hell, use the exact same story. Use the cutscenes one-to-one. That doesn't matter, okay? Like, Konami's not going to pay for who knows how many hours of like just dialogue was recorded for all of the Metal Gear Solid games. Like, I would actually like to know if, I mean, I'm sure Hideo Kojima's like Death Stranding is going to be number one for just in general, like, you know, number of recordings. I've actually, full stop, I've never really played too much like Death Stranding, you know, honestly. It's just for games that takes like hours, they say, to get into before it gets fun. That's a failed game to me. So like, I love Hideo Kojima. That's a whole other video though. That's a whole nother stream. But yeah, and that's the other thing. Like, it's not like he's some perfect game maker, Hideo Kojima. He's like just a mortal person and things like that. So to copy Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater to like step by step, guard by guard, I think it's just insane. And I really think that they're just going to copy and paste like the same sort of AI into these new guards. Like, when there's just so many things you could do. My mind is just like beaming with ideas that you could have for just new fun mechanics. And I wanted to save like a whole other video for this, but I know nobody's gonna watch this video here, so it's safe, you know? And whatever, if Konami wants to go out and steal some of these ideas, just put a hard brake on the game. Just completely just handrail brake on Delta. That would be beautiful. That would be like overall what I would want. I want everyone to rise up together. Together we need to just rise up and say, Konami, we deserve better. We deserve more when it comes to Solid Snake. Well, I guess Naked Snake, whatever. But Big Boss in the gang. We deserve when it comes to Big Boss in the gang. But I guess my conspiracy theory on all of this, my big conspiracy theory and like my idea of like the timeline of what Konami does plan on doing with Metal Gear, because Konami doesn't have that much, you know, IP to like lean on right now. I mean, they got the defibrillators on Silent Hill, okay? I mean, Downpour, whatever, that one game with the unskippable cutscenes, that was bad, okay? I don't know what any game post 2006 needs unskippable cutscenes, but it's bad form. But anyways, yeah, they got Silent Hill, which is on the defibrillator. They got Castlevania. I feel like that's always going to be strong. And then we have, you know, this Metal Gear Solid revamp, whatever, reintroduction, whatever. I'm really excited to see what like the kids think. I'm really excited to see if like kids actually come out and play this game, you know, with Metal Gear Solid 5 being 5 years old now. Or sorry, almost 10 years old, 9 years old now at this point. With Metal Gear Solid 5 being 9 years old at this point, it's just really... did kids play that? You know, did those 12... Were there like 12-year-olds who got into that game, who maybe played like the remasters or whatnot, and now like are excited? Because I feel like that's what's going to like keep carrying this series through. It's going to carry what carries any kind of series or franchise through, whether it be books, whether it be video games, whether it be movies. Is kind of like instilling it into the kids, because, you know, you love something as a kid. It doesn't matter how bad it becomes, you know, you're still going to love at least the originals, you know. I mean, I feel like a lot of people are going through that with like the Star Wars movies with like Disney and whatnot. You know, they love the originals. They love the prequels. They hate the prequels, whatever. But now like that Disney has a hold of it, you know, it's created like some complicated feelings, whatever, you know. Good or bad that Disney did do, though, you know, I mean, it does give us some gems. So you just have to take the good with the bad when it comes to those kind of things. But anyways, like, it doesn't matter how good or bad something was, like, or is, you know, when you love it as a kid, it just still holds that, like, special place in your heart. Which is why, even though that I hate the idea of Metal Gear Solid Delta, I'm probably still gonna buy it day one, because like, how could I not? You know, I love that game as a kid. I love the series as a kid, and just all the wacky, fun things that you can do in these Metal Gear Solid games was like the best. And I think that's what is one of the things that really make me sad, is if they don't update any of these Easter eggs and fun, you know, goofs within the game. You know, these funny cutscenes. I mean, obviously the cutscenes aren't going to change. Obviously the codec calls are not going to change. So it's just, I mean, maybe they'll put in some like visual stuff. Maybe we'll get some non-dialogue funny little moments. I don't know, that they can think of. but it's just really disappointing to think that in a series full of Easter eggs and, you know, fun hidden dialogues that you can unlock by doing just some of the most mundane, simple things and then talking to someone at like a certain time, like can unlock such deep conversations. It's just sad that we're not going to get any of that new discovery. And I think that's why this is not going to ultimately pan out in the long, long run, because with any kind of game series now, just any kind of series in general, it's not just about like the release. It's about like the hype around the release, post-release, pre-release, people making YouTube videos, people making Twitter posts, Reddit posts, people still making posts on things like what they may have discovered in Baldur's Gate 3, and like it just really keeps the hype alive, you know. It really keeps like this interesting world just created, and people get, you know, I mean like sucked into it, you know. It gets visibility, maybe, you know, when you have people making this content, it just increases the visibility, which makes people want to go and just play and explore the series more. But I'm just afraid that this game's gonna come out, you're gonna have your initial people talking about it. You're gonna have your initial people, you know, making your channel, you know, your videos, you know, oh, look at the comparisons. But I don't know. I just don't see what is really gonna motivate people who haven't played this game before to pick it up. You know, yeah, the long-term fans might pick it up, and I don't care if people like it or not. I really don't care. I don't want to be that meme where people are like playing video games and I'm yelling that they should stop having fun, because I don't care if you enjoy this, if you think this is cool. You know, life is short. Enjoy yourself. Be happy. But I think that, you know, it's gonna just be that game again that we know. And I just think like right now we're still thinking like, oh, this is gonna be like some hype thing because, I don't know, clothing rips. That's what people are excited for. Some like cosmetic clothing rips, or some like cuts here and there that probably aren't even gonna be that immersive. I mean, again, it's just Konami trying to do the bare minimum of doing something new. And I think that's just almost insulting. But, you know, when we haven't had anything, well, I guess we did have Metal Gear Survive. I gotta see what year Metal Gear Survive came out real quick, I guess. Metal Gear Survive, release date 2018. And honestly, I feel like people just really hated on it. I mean, like, it's not a fantastic game by any means, but I feel like the Fox engine or whatever was just a Foxhound engine, whatever it's frickin' called, is just so good. It's impossible almost not to make a fun game in that. So on some level, I do think that just based on the fact that it was in the Fox engine, that it was an okay. I didn't play too much of it, honestly. I played at like some friend's house before, so I guess I don't have enough first-hand experience. That's a whole. Maybe I need to do that. Maybe I do need to do a deep dive, because I don't think enough people played that. I feel like a lot of people just saw like Metal Gear Solid, zombies, and just totally wrote off Survive as like something that's just gonna be like Doom from the start. Like, I want to know how many people actually played that game, actually bought the game, put enough hours to put like an actual opinion on it. And I would say, like, going by the Steam rule of like you can get a good judgment on a game within about 2 hours. You know, going back to whole, you know, Hideo Kojima Death Stranding, there was no real, it just wasn't fun after like 2 hours. So I think that was a failed a game, in my opinion. I do hear it gets really good. Yeah. Yo, and Pure, I'm sure you left now, but hearts to you. One whole person watch it. I gotta put it down though. I can't do it, but I let me see if I can finagle away so I can see if some of these pops up in the chat. I'm not cool. I don't have 2 monitors. I'll be truthful, YouTube. I'll be truthful with you. I don't got the 2 monitors. I don't have that ability. This device. This device. I don't have two monitors. I'll be. Okay. I gotta look at it this way. There we go. There's my viewer. Well, what? Okay. So, I feel like I don't want to look at that, though. I don't want to look. I want to just see the camera. There we go. Oh. Solutions everywhere. You know, when there's problems, there are solutions to those problems. Except for, like, chronic pain. That's really tough. And, like, that's when, like, I guess people talk about ableism and things like that. Is that an ableist statement? I don't know. But that's a whole other conversation. We're talking about Metal Gear Solid Delta and just what a travesty it kind of is. That it is not going to live up to what it could be. And I'm afraid to give out my ideas for this because I think, oh yeah, I'm afraid to give out the ideas because I feel like once it's out there, it's just gonna blow up, and then people are gonna be afraid of, or gonna be angry of what they're missing out on, and there's gonna be those true riots in the streets that I just don't want blood on my hands. You know, when you are the content creator, it's just crazy that those responsibilities do fall on you, on what you say, on what you do, on just everything. So it's just really, you know, dangerous. It's dangerous in this climate, you know. But the conspiracy or the timeline for this new series is going to be pretty clear. So obviously, they're working out the kinks with Metal Gear Solid 3. Delta, you know, they need this one-to-one remake. It's a little safe. You know, they're building their engine, I guess. They're building their new way they're going to do that, okay? And then they're going to just keep moving forward. They don't need to do 5 again. You know, Phantom Pain's taken care of. You know, V has awoken. Venom's out there. Having a good time. So what are we going to do? We jump right to Metal Gear after this, okay? That's going to force them to kind of play outside the box a little bit. They're not going to be able to hold Kojima's hand. They're not going to be able to hold Hideo Kojima's hand as they play through that unless they want to make a one-to-one sprite rendition of that. Yeah, that'll be fun. You can do that on the PSP or whatever. Whatever handheld. You can make a mobile game out of that. But anyways, we're going to do that. And then I would imagine they'd make Metal Gear Solid 2 Snake, or Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake. But that would be like a big branching point, honestly, for what they decide to do. Let's really think about. But yeah, that's gonna be a big branching point right there. Is whether or not what direction they're gonna take anything. But yeah, but that's gonna be what's gonna happen. Okay, I'm gonna try to eat this real quick. Oh, when it's watching. You can really taste the blueberries. Oh, of course. Somebody watching that or they're joining. But anyways, as you're joining, viewer, welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Have a seat. Pull up a chair. We're talking about Metal Gear Solid Delta and why the remake is a bad idea because it's a one-to-one remake. Okay, that's where I want to bring you in first. You know, I want you to get comfortable. I don't want you to get lost in all the details. It gets very nuanced very soon, so be careful, okay? The one-to-one remake is a bad idea because there's just so much potential in a new reimagining of the game with just the way hardware and just gameplay has evolved since 2004. It'd be ridiculous to just stick to something that was made 20 years ago, that one-to-one experience, especially because Snake Eater, you can play Snake Eater on so many consoles now. I think on almost like every console in the last 10 years, you can now play Sons of Liberty. You can play Snake Eater. It's insane. Xbox 360, Xbox One, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Switch even. We don't need a one-to-one remake just so we can crouch walk, okay? Snake Eater doesn't need crouch walking. That's just gonna be insane. They left, whatever. I don't know what time they left. How many views has this even gotten overall? Let's see. That's not bad. That's not bad. This fig bar really really hit the spot. I don't know if this is the proper medium to express how I'm feeling, especially because people jump right in whenever. It's gonna be tough, but they'll figure it out. They'll just figure it out. I'm sitting here wasting my life thinking about a game series that meant so much to me, and now it's just gone and ruined, and what it could have been is just an insulting idea of what we've just lost in this day and age, where it's just so easy to remake things and just so easy to just copy and paste what's already been done because it's safe and they just know it's gonna make money. But are we gonna run out? Is this the new global warming of entertainment, where it's like a finite source? There's only so many things we can remake and redo and remake and polish and shine with new entertainment. It's not gonna be able to continue, folks. We're gonna run off a cliff soon. I am going into panic mode because it just hit my mind what is really gonna happen in a matter of decades. This is going to be the inconvenient truth of media. Oh my goodness. I have no idea why. That's it. That's what this whole exercise was about. It was all about getting to that conclusion, folks, of what is to come in the future for movies, for everything. I mean, maybe books are going to be the last bastion, and I feel like there has been a resurgence of books, and God help us if that, as long as it's not hockey romance books, which that's what it's been. But I think this is it. I think we got to a good little nugget there. I feel like I just had a brain orgasm, and I just have this post clarity of euphoria, of just knowing of the direction of where I need to go next, where we all need to go next together. And that's the thing, is it's gonna take everyone together working in tandem, or at least just agreeing by the same rules, by the same mindset, by the same structure. We can overcome what's trying to be shoved down our throats by those in charge of everything we see and hear, just like Hideo Kojima predicted when Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty. It all came full circle. He is, or was, or a part of something that we have no idea the magnitude of. And it all comes back down to Konami and just going to shove Metal Gear Solid 3 down our throats, because they're going to use this bad example of a game to then remake Metal Gear Solid 2 in the image that the Patriots want. It was all an idea from the Patriots, you see. It's just the Lale Lule Lo coming after everybody who's trying to do any sort of change. That's why they smeared his name when somebody in Japan got assassinated. I think it was their prime minister or something. I don't remember who. Don't quote me. Maybe we have to do a little bit of on-the-fly research. But the point is, he was blamed because they know how much he knows. They know how much Hideo Kojima knows, and how much the Metal Gear Solid series as a whole reveals what Solid Snake himself has been preaching since the get-go. And what is that? It's love. And that's the thing for every sort of message, is love thy neighbor. From Jesus to Solid Snake. It's the universal message that we all need to come to understand and to accept, that is the one piece missing in this human puzzle of life. It's just the love that we've all left behind, lost along the way somewhere, because we got distracted. We got distracted by this individualized what is that word where you put in little boxes? Departmentalized. I don't remember what it was. I don't know. You're just individualized, and that's going to lead to nowhere fast. Okay, it's going to lead nowhere fast, people. And we're going to hit the accelerator with things like Metal Gear Solid 3 Delta. I think I've made my case. I think I've made my case. Goodbye, everyone. But not forever. But not forever.